during your time there, and like I don't want to dampen the spirits here, but the Chris Benoit, obviously that thing happened in between when you guys were there. Like, how shocking was that? Like, I never heard your perspective from everything on this story. Like, and how did you find out about it, and what was the mood like around the place when all this came out?
I liked Chris a lot. I had a lot of really good conversations with Chris.
Yeah.
And I watched somebody not that long ago told me to watch. I don't know if you guys get it back there. It's like Beyond the Ropes or something they call it, or
Yeah, it's Dark Side of the Ring. Is that what it is?
thing. And
Yeah.
it says to watch it, and I was like, I don't really like that shit. And I watched it, and it was a Chris episode, and I'm sitting here with my kids, and I just broke down. We were Chris was always a good guy. I remember him, he'd stop to get his son. We'd go on overseas tours, and he would stop and get his son just to bring him to the show to spend just an extra few hours with him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And, we did the thing for Vince. Vince was supposed to get blown up in a limousine. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes, of course. That happened the week before, which was fucking mental, really.
The week before, and we were all supposed to be there for Vince's funeral. I believe it was Corpus Christi. And I was hanging out with Edge and Viscera, and somebody came up to us. I can't remember who it was. It might have been JR, because we had black shirts on for the funeral, and everybody wanted us to have. Everybody's got to wear a white shirt and black tie. So well, fuck. So we jumped in a rental car, and we're heading here, and I'm sitting beside Vis, and he's like, Rory, I never liked this. I don't like this, man. He's like, anytime we do some kind of angle with Death shows up. He's like, I don't like it. I remember playing his day, him saying that.
Wow.
And we went back to the arena, and I just remember Malenko came out, and he went straight to Vicky. But Vince had called us out of the ring, and he got up into the ring. But before he said that, Malenko came down, and he went over to Vicky, and I've never in my life heard a scream like it. Like, she just inconsolable, man, you know. And we knew Chris had missed the pay-per-view the night before. Obviously, he's a big guy, a big name.
Very uncharacteristic. Yeah.
We were under the impression that his family was sick and everything else. And Vince is in the ring, and he's like, "Hey, so we did a wellness check on Chris, and everybody's dead." And dude, we're in the middle of an arena here. And there's regulars and lighting and pyrotechnicians and everything else, and you could have heard a pin drop, man. Like, I think we all breathed in and nobody breathed out for about 30 seconds. And I was sitting with Randy, and he just kept shaking my shoulder. He just kept pushing my shoulder and pushing my shoulder. And he's like, let's go fucking smoke. Let's go fucking smoke. And we went out to have a cigarette, which we shouldn't do. It's nasty. Kids don't do that. And dude, both of us just broke down, and then Lillian showed up, and she kind of fucking lost it. And, you know, wasn't long after that, they said they were going to do a tribute show. They said they could either stay or we could go home. And, 99% of people went home. And there was me, Robbie, Taker, Hunter, I think Shane Helms. I could be wrong. So I said to one of the guys in the building, I'm like, here, man, there's $50. Go buy some beer. You know, and we're just going to sit here and watch the show. And they had been recording people all day, you know, to do the sound bites and whatnot. And it was fucking rough. And I don't know what it was. And I didn't want to think about it at all, man. I didn't. I looked at Robbie, and I'm like, what if we're doing a podcast for a guy who just killed his fucking family? And I didn't want to think that, but how could you not, you know? And he's like, shut the fuck up, and don't even say that.
Yeah.
And the next day, we're flying back, and I'm on the same plane as Randy. I think we flew into Kansas City, and Randy goes for coffee, and he comes walking back, and on every screen in the center of the hub the airport, you know, murder suicide, and dude, Randy just lost his shit. He literally just lost his shit and fucking ran out the airport. He was home anyways, you know. I was catching the second leg, and that was kind of how that whole thing happened, man. Well, that was my experience of it, you know.